Hey, good morning, you beautiful human beings. Guys, it is Tuesday. We had a great day yesterday. We're about to continue the momentum today. Listen, if you are in that gold pending order trade, then you guys should be smiling across the board. Now, just to share with you, this is the reason I pinned this yesterday as a trade from yesterday, pretty much afternoon, right? I pinned this as a trade, as a pending order for a sell limit, right? And that's how easy it is to get into a monster trade, right? If you're in that trade right now, you should be well over 100 pips in profit. TP1 has been taken out, TP2 has been taken out, almost TP3. So it's around about 80, 90 pips banked, another 100 pips running. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of what that means, right? So about 180 pips in a single day of pure profits. Even if you're taking a trade at one lot, right, which is $10 per pip, you're talking about $1,800. That's almost 40,000 Rand in a single day worth of trading. Now, scale that back down 0.10, that's $400, right? Let's just quickly work it out. So 180 pips times $10, $1,800. So at 0.10, it's $180, right? So it's around about 4,000 Rand, even at 0.10. And yeah, it's super easy to make money through pending orders, right? Provided you do it right. My math got me caught out there a little bit. It is obviously pretty early for math. So obviously that's a monster trade. If you're part of Premium Plus, you're obviously also getting indice trades. Again, we're limiting indice trades directly into Premium Plus. In addition, if you're part of Premium Plus, we have dollars for lunch this afternoon. And speaking about dollars for lunch, we are obviously going to be trading some of that fundamental data that's coming through. We've got some building permits. We've got some Canadian data. The Canadian data, I think, is going to outshine the US data right now. At the moment, the US is pretty much settled on Powell giving that death blow to the dollar that we saw last week, right? I do still think markets are going to try and contain some of that movement, but I think overall that trend is obviously set. We can see that the news, we can see markets busy speaking about stock rise again on a 7th week rally, right? Now, again, big shocker. Everybody was saying December is going to be a flat month. There's not going to be any activity. We're not going to see any rises. Obviously told you to stick around for December. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive, right? Big shout out to anybody that is joining us. Let us know where in the world you're joining us from, where you're watching. We'd love to know your feedback. If you're watching this even after the fact, right? Even if you're watching this at lunchtime and you're not a part of Premium Plus, then let us know. I always do reply to comments myself individually. So let us know where in the world you're joining us from. What are you looking at? What are you seeing in the markets? And what are you most looking forward to? Now, there's a couple of trades we are obviously speaking about, that we are obviously monitoring and having a look at, but there's one trade I do want to speak about this morning. I think it's a really good trade for those of you who may be starting out, those of you who want to, practice a little bit of your price action and play this one out. Whether you want to take this on a demo or live account is completely up to you, but I'm going to share this one with you anyway. Really, really quick breakdown, right? So currently we're looking at USD JPY behind us. This is a 1-day time frame, right? And all I want you to do to be able to follow along on this trade is I want you just to isolate this market bottom on a 1-day time frame, right? You can draw out that support level. And then all I want you to do is just have a look at this last moment in time that we're currently in, right? In this last moments in time, you can drop down to a 1-hour time frame, zoom out a little bit if you're on a computer, and just mark off those highs, right? Or at least those lower highs, right? Mark them off, those resistance levels. And all I want you to do is just have a look at where we are now in relation to that. Now, two things noteworthy here that I want to point out, and I'll go back to a 4-hour maybe. 4-hour seems to break that trend line quite badly. Two things I want to point out is that from a USD JPY's perspective, right? We are under that market structure. So if you have a look at this long-term rising structure that has pretty much been this whole year, right? For the whole 2023, United States dollar has been gaining and buying territory on the yen, right? Now, if we have a look at what's happened recently with the loss of the strength of the dollar, that has now failed for the first time in about a year, right? Now, the reason this is of importance is that when we see these failures start to happen, right? If we have a look here, again, what happened in 2022, right? A very, very similar thing. 2022, for the whole year, we saw USD JPY rally. And then ultimately we see that failure start to happen. We get a bit of a retest, and then we saw, about 1,500 pips towards the downside. Now, 1,500 pips on Forex is big, it's massive. So where we are now in the states of price, right? If you look at this 1-hour time frame, we are busy making a move back up into this zone, right? We're making a move to potentially touch at that 144 0.80 pips, right? So meaning $1 will buy you 144 yen 80, right? So we're currently rebuilding into that zone. And where I'm looking for short opportunities, where I'm looking for sell opportunities is literally sitting exactly on the 144.83. Now, you may be asking, but why am I looking for sells there? Two things, right? First thing is that we're busy with that retest, right? Second thing is that is a known support/resistance zone. It's a known supply zone for buyers and sellers. In this particular case, approaching from the underside would show weakness, right? And at that point, right, sellers will start to look at that price very, very seriously and potentially start converting from buying up into selling, right? Second thing, and I just want to point this out from a risk perspective, there's a secondary zone just slightly north of that price that we're looking at, and that is that zone over here, right? That's 145, almost 146 square, right? Or 146 flat, and that is the most upper level of USD JPY that this price could potentially run to. So I wouldn't be surprised for a little bit of a fake out. This is a very neat market structure. So what we would look at doing here is we'd look at selling off market structure at 144.73 level, and then we'd have some pending orders or some higher leveled orders at that level there that will prove to level that we can see from past data is a level that has been very well respected on USD JPY. If we go back to on a daily time frame, you'll see it over there, massively respected at that level as well. So USD JPY, if you're a new trader and you want to get involved into a trade, this is one that can sort of materialize over the next day too. I think 3 days max is when we're potentially looking at this towards the end of the week, and primarily specifically if we get that CPE index that will be coming out on Friday, right? Again, if markets build up here, so if we see USD JPY build up some momentum, United States dollar building up some momentum until Friday, and then that index comes in under expectation, which is what the markets are expecting, that should then weaken the dollar and cause that perfect storm catalyst for USD JPY to start sinking down, or at least for the dollar to start losing ground on the yen on that particular trade. So very, very nice trade, good price action, clean, neat, easy to follow. So if you're a beginner trader and you want to jump in, and if you're an existing trader, profitable trader, this will add to some of those profits. Now just having a look at US 100, obviously we gave out that sell late yesterday evening and around about 7 p.m. That's where we gave out that sell. We expected this false move to sort of pull back quite sharply. It took a little bit of time for it to pull back. We obviously remained under risk, but we are around about an entry. So if you are in the US 100 trade and you want to get out of it, you're not too sure of it, you're welcome to get out of that. We will look for alternative entries, US 30, as well as the S&P 500. So don't worry about that one too much. Again, if you're part of that gold trade and gold setup, yesterday we obviously had that pending order from 2031 to 2034, I think, or 33. So if you caught that one, that would have activated yesterday afternoon around about 7 and immediately banged back down into profit. Like I said, at the moment we should be sitting at around about 100 pips of profit from entry. TP1 has been closed, TP2 has been closed. I'm still running some trades here. Now, the reason I'm still running some trades over and above those trades is for this particular reason. Now, yesterday we spoke about, we were looking here yesterday morning, pounds for breakfast, we were talking about price potentially getting out to the 2024 sell level with a potential to that 2027.8, somewhere around about there, right? Now, what happened is yesterday we made that a little bit of a push. So for those who followed in that and took some sells there or bought up into those levels, well done. But we obviously had that big spike there. We pulled back and now we've stayed within this market structure. Now, what's interesting to me this morning is that price is trying to break towards the downside, right? At the time of analyzing this morning, we were already pressing down into 2021 territory. And I'm very, very curious now if we see gold sort of fail out this level. Now, you may be asking, but saying, and Dane, well, we got all this strength. Why would we see some of these failures, right? Well, two reasons. First reason is that we got a ton of strength, right? Whatever goes up must come down. We need a decent retracement on gold. That's the way the world works, right? We need a decent fib level pullback. We haven't got one yet. And so a failure of this smaller temporary structure will potentially then push us to that 2018 level, 2013, and ultimately really to get some sort of bigger retracement, we would probably want to get closer down to that 61.8, 78.6, somewhere about there. Now, in the perfect world, if we got a decent pullback on gold and then Friday we got that dollar weakness, that would cause another bull rally, right? So we would have completed the retracement of the previous bull cycle, and then that weakness on the dollar would then trigger that next rally on the price of gold, right? So that is ideally what we're looking out for. But again, we are going to deal with this day by day, depending what data we get, depending on what price action comes about. We'll obviously deal with that on a day-by-day basis. Now this afternoon we are trading that US housing data. That'll be live. I don't think there's going to be as much movement on the dollar. However, it will affect some of the trades that we're in, so that'll be advantageous to Premium Plus members. In addition to that, we're going to be looking a lot at the Canadian dollar. So I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time looking at the CAD this afternoon for opportunities for this afternoon when we are trading that one live, and we're about to build up into a pretty big week. Now, Friday, generally we don't trade live any of these sort of data events, but because this is potentially the last important set of data for December, I'm going to make an exception. I'll be trading that Premium Plus members on Friday, right? So that CPE index, which is the last bit of data that investors are looking at, is definitely important. Now, if you guys would like an article that kind of really summarizes a lot of the things we've been speaking about this year, right? This kind of does a really good job of talking about that. And, I've been speaking about this and breaking it down in live shows, for quite a bit of time. But in essence, right, stocks surged as investors became increasingly convinced the Federal Reserve would make more rate cuts in 2024 than previously forecast, right? Now that's what the Fed put on the charts, right? Investors aren't, convinced. That's what the Fed put out there, right? Those hopes got a boost last week as policymakers recognized its efforts to cool inflation were having an impact, right? So again, that's what we've been speaking about primarily over, the course of this year. The Federal Reserve's actions for raising interest rates, pausing, and then potentially rate cuts next year. And that's all, people are now writing articles about this, where previously it was just speculation. This is something we've been talking about quite openly for a bit of time now. So if you're learning from that and you are benefiting from it, that is what it is all about. Again, there will be trades being sent through, and I just want to obviously make sure that everybody is well aware that, I got a lot of messages again yesterday, people asking, when are they going to get indices trades in the free area? We aren't going to be giving indices in the free area, right? So if you log on to our social area and you just see DVDM markets just like that, you are in the free area. If you log in and you see Premium Plus, that is the paid area. Now, how to switch to free and Premium Plus, you click on those arrows and you see what options you have there, right? If you have the option of Premium Plus to you are in Premium Plus. Right? There's a lot of people that think because they're in a Telegram group, they are part of Premium Plus. We have not used Telegram in quite a while, and we aren't going to be using Telegram in quite a while to come. So that's what it is. The team is working hard to look at the markets. We expect a bunch of opportunities to still materialize, and we look forward to taking those trades and banking and seeing you on the other side. Outside that, guys, you know the drill. Be safe, trade safe, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. Premium Plus this afternoon at 3:15. I must just also note that school has got 30-minute increments to schedule things. So I've scheduled it for 3 o'clock, but it's actually 3:15. I did put that in the notes of the actual event. So I'll see you live 3:15 on Premium Plus for this US data session. Let's get out those trades. Let's get out those signals. Let's kill the market as we always do. And let's all see you a little bit later. You know the drill. Goodbye.